What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I've been seeing lately a lot of people are tripping I don't know why, right? But a lot of people have been asking me, hey, Gun, why is it that Dubs goes at Wes Watson so hard in the paint? You know, I think it's hilarious, man. I enjoy Willy Wonka Wednesdays, Wes Watson Wednesdays. But I know the exact reasoning behind why Dubs does it, how he truly feels about that individual. And, you know, I tell people, ask him. You know, ask them. It's very simple, man. If you have a question, you ask that individual instead of asking other people. But, you know, I have my theories, my truths on why he does it. I know why I do it. And I'll be straight up with you, man. Wes Watson is a character. You know, Wes Watson has created this character on YouTube, on social media, and he's been pretty successful at it. There's no doubt about that. You can't even, I'm sure he couldn't fathom how his life was going to end up. My life's a movie, a porn movie. But at the end of the day, he has put himself in position to excel and exceed even his greatest expectations. He's exceeded his expectations. I guarantee that. From convict to millionaire, that's hard to do. Not everyone could do it. Not everyone's cut from that cloth or able to do that. But see, most people that do that, that achieve greatness through their mouthpiece or through manipulation or whatever the case may be, they do it from hard work, perseverance. I'm using all the big words today. They do it by telling their truths. You know, with Wes Watson, I think he began his career on social media and doing what he did and telling his stories with a lot of truth. I think in the beginning, he was telling you what little bit he knew. And when he seen that there was a lane for it, that there was a bag at the end of his rainbow, right? And if he can make money off talking about slamming things up his asshole, then why not? Why wouldn't he do it? You know, right now his shit is gapped. He's told so many stories. But at the same time, I could understand why people like myself, Dubs, and so many others not hate this guy, because we don't. I've had plenty of conversations behind the scene with Dubs where we've discussed Wes Watson, not because we're discussing another strange man, but his name has come up in conversation. And I think we pretty much feel the same way. We respect him as far as his business acumen and what he's doing. No hatred whatsoever. No knocking his hustle. But at the same time, when we see bullshit, we're going to call people out on it. It's just the way it is. It's just like if you see my bullshit, you call me out on it. Nobody is not subject to a little ridicule, a little shame, a little bullshit. But at the end of the day, man, it's all fun and games. See, when you create a character on YouTube or any social media platform, then you expose and you open yourself up to getting roasted. See, that's what I like to do. I like to do what I do in a comedic flavor. I like to tell my stories, my truths, my realisms. But at the end of the day, not put tapatio on it, put tajin on it, because it just tastes better. We like to, over here on Gunners Collective TV and Collective Clips, I like to, you know, mix it up, have fun with it, educate, but at the same time, bring a smile to your face. Because I believe that's the recipe. I believe that's what people want to do. It's a universal language. Everybody wants to laugh. With Wes Watson, what's funny about him is he likes to, you know, talk shit about people. Play them out of pocket. You know, he feels that if he could break you down like a pimp to a hoe, if he could break you down and tear you down, then he can rebuild you up in his image. See, you know, I've seen things where, and we're going to get back to Dubs in a minute, but I've seen things where he's talked to guys pretty harshly, bullied people. We seen a while back on that panel, he bullied that guy or attempted to. Dude wasn't going out like that. Dude called him on his bullshit face to face. But he likes to tear people down because it makes him not only feel better about himself, but also he's a true and firm believer that his concepts and what his bullshit is, it works. I mean, it worked for him. Why wouldn't it work for you? But what works for you doesn't necessarily work for me. It doesn't work for everyone. You know, just because he wants to slam steroids and get big and do all this doesn't mean the next man wants to do that. Yes, stay healthy, put in that work, take care of your body. Steroids don't just make you big, okay? It's just not an imaginary thing you take and you blow up overnight. You have to put a lot of hard work in. That's a fact. And people have done that, and they can tell you how expensive and how excruciating and the bullshit they have to go through to do that. But at the same time, not everybody wants to go that route. Everybody, I think, wants to be financially secure. Everybody wants to know the recipe on how to outlast the next man or how to win in the game. But there's not just some mysterious fucking mystery, some secret recipe that's going to tell you how to crack it back. It just doesn't work like that, okay? It worked for him because he was able to manipulate people and people bought into the bullshit. If you are susceptible to buying into the bullshit, doesn't mean you're dumb or you don't know what's up. It just means a lot of these people that listen to his stories and believe him have never been to prison, never wanted to go to prison, and they see this guy who's a successful entrepreneur and who's made something out of himself that was in prison. Wow, if he could do it, then anybody can, especially someone that's never been there. But for those of us that have been there, I can't even talk right now, except for those of us, right? My mouth's dry. I had a torta last night. She sucked the life out of me. Literally. My couch, I'm going to have to shampoo it. So, for those of us that have really been in prison, 4 yards, 3 yards, really done time in a real way, I could feel insulted, or I could see people feeling insulted. Now, when it comes to Dubs and why he goes in on them, I believe he does it more for having fun. Dubs is a funny dude, man. He likes to play, joke. He has more one-liners than I do. You just don't see that side of him unless you become a close friend with him like I have. Then you get to see the other side, the joking, the clowning. We could talk for hours just clowning, right? But at the same time, he's a very serious individual. You know, I could see how he feels disrespected and how he feels a certain way about Wes Watson when someone was a lifer, okay? And that doesn't make you better than anyone else in prison, but you do get that respect. When you hear the word lifer, someone doing an LWOP or doing all day, you put a little bass in your voice and a little respect around them. Put some respect on my name. Canelo, you bitch, right? You put some, shout out to the Canelo fans, but you gotta respect the fact that this man knew what was in front of him and played the game correctly, okay? Yes, he got caught up as a youngster and got charged with the murder case. Never shied away from it. Never he downplayed it. Accepted responsibilities and accepted the consequences of his actions. And did what he had to do in prison accordingly. You know, he ran with a certain group and full-fledged. He did his thing. I know all his stories. We know his stories. He's told them. So when he sees someone that gets into the prison genre or jumps on social media and tells you lies or misdirects you, that's like disrespecting someone who was a lifer. Now, he was very lucky, Dubs was, because laws changed and certain advocate groups got behind him and helped him to get out, man. He got a second chance at life. And believe me, he's enjoying it. And hey, and every time I see him out or dropping a short, doing his thing, enjoying life with his lady or whatever, I crack a smile for him because I've seen many lifers with no hope. Many lifers in prison. There's a lot that I was locked up with that are still there right now, years later, that laws ain't changing for them. Things are not, you know, going according to plan, and they're stuck. They're stuck. Now, albeit they're stuck by their own actions, but at the same time, damn, people change. You know, prison changes your mentality. It changes you, either makes you worse or makes you better. And that's it. Or it doesn't, you know, some people give up, some people strive harder. That's where you could really define a man and see what he's all about, if his mentality's stronger, if he's just a bullshitter. Now, what I think with Dubs, why he goes in on Wes, I think it's more so just joking. He doesn't hate him. He doesn't wish bad upon this guy. He doesn't want to put hands on him. Like he said, he doesn't want to put hands on anyone. But more so through our conversations, I've kind of got that he feels disrespected by this guy. And I could see it. When someone's lying about places that you've been, things that you've seen, that you've actually seen in real life, don't the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? Don't you feel some type of way? Now, I know there's a lot of people out there, it ain't no big deal, bro. It's just let them. And that's cool. But sometimes you just can't. See, when you come from a mentality of incarceration, whether it be from a kid, YA baby, into prison, county jails, then you know what's up. That's like myself and Dubs. We have conversations behind the scenes and guys will be like, hey, I was in YA, I was over here in this institution, or I was over there. And we can kind of tell just right off the top, based on the conversation, and what they say, if they were really there, they really weren't. There was a different language, a different style, a different swag, even as far as Northern California and Southern California. You know, down south, when I did time down south, there was different sayings and different things. And that's why I think me and Dubs could identify more with each other, because we were both in the youth authority. Excuse me. Like I said, she sucked the fucking life force out of me, right? She fucked my voice up and everything. So when you've done time in the youth authority, you know, you and me down south, I kind of talked like that. I kind of still had those mannerisms because that's what I know. Okay, then you elevate your time, or you elevate to county jails and prisons. Hopefully you don't, but most of us do. You know, we knew even in YA, man, we were on a one-way ticket to prison. We were striving for it. That was part of life. That was going to happen. It was just a matter of time if we were going to be alive and make it to that. So when people like Dubs, myself, but especially Dubs because he was a lifer, have done that time, he respected his pad. He respected that yard. He respected everything around him. And that guy could tell you exactly what facility, what cell, everything to the T. And most lifers can, where they've been, their resume, and what they've done. And they speak in prison terms most of the time because that's all they know. That's how they grow up. You know, doing 24 years, I could understand that. I've been around a lot of homeboys that did that. I did 19, but on the installment plan. That's county youth authority, county jails, and prison. No comparison there. This guy was on a different level, you know, as far as his status within where he was from, plus his, you know, his life term. I can only imagine. Now, when it comes to Wes Watson, who acts like he was super lifer, who acted like, you know, these 10 years, which he says he did, which I don't think he did, you know, and he talks about these shoe terms, and we're talking about someone like Dubs who's been to the shoe several times over. Someone who really did shoe living. Someone who was really there. When he listens to these stories, just like I listen to these stories, you know, if there's places that Wes talks about that I haven't been to, I ask Dubs, hey, what do you think? He says, bullshit. I call but no video. I call bullshit because he's been there. He was there at the times that this guy's talking about. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no way. You know, when Wes Watson tells his stories, albeit some of them are fables and they're meant to entertain, I guess. But that guy says it in a direct fashion, meaning he looks people into the eyes through the camera. And that's fucking pura, 10-5 a key. That's exactly what it is. And fuck you if you say it isn't. Hey, if you call a man out on his lies and bullshit, you're not wrong. Okay, if you're wrong about him lying, well, then you are wrong. And you have to admit that and be a man. But, you know, in this case with Wes Watson, I think pretty much everybody has seen, anyone who's been locked up and knows what it is, especially lifers, that Dubs was, sees it. And they could either do one or two things. Either they could be upset and very, very mad and want to do something to the man because they feel like, hey, bro, everything that I done, all the time that I did, whether I know it was dead time and I know it doesn't count for anything in society, but still, that's his life. You only get one life. Whether it be in prison or on the streets, in a gang or not, a doctor, a lawyer, a fucking dope fiend, a meth cook, whatever you are in life, that's your life. You make your choices. You make your bed. You got to lie in it, like Nipsey Hussle said. That's how it is. But if someone disrespects your life, if they're taking a piece of your life and turning it into fantasy, if they're taking a piece of your life and manipulating a whole bunch of people and getting rich doing it, that could kind of upset you. I think somewhere in the back of your mind, you're not a weak person, but you say, hey, bro, you're taking my life story and you're twisting it up and basically making fun of it and downplaying it and telling people lies. So he calls them on his bullshit. That's why when I see the Willy Wonka Wednesdays, when he roasts Wes, it's coming more so from a place of, wow. That's what I could say. It's coming more so from a place of, this guy just, because Wes keeps elevating the game as far as, and we're not talking about his money. So what? Yes, he has a lot of money. That's cool. He did that. People bought into the bullshit. That's cool. Everyone isn't the same. You know, his business acumen is on Mayweather shit. He did that. He's able to go fucking, you know, to the P. Diddy parties. That's cool, and stay all night long if he wants, which I'm sure he would. Saggy fucking tight white pants and everything. P. Diddy was that motherfucker like, Wes, take that. Take that. You feel that the more money we come across, the more deity we see. Orale, Diddy, right? He got his diddleization on. With Wes Watson, I know that, you know, a lot of people believe his bullshit. But at the same time, I don't think, like I said, Dubs is coming from a place of hatred or wanting to beat someone up. I think he's more so just having fun with it because he's turning his bad nature into his good nature, meaning where maybe back in the days, the way he rocked, the look in his eyes, he would have felt some type of way about someone lying on places and disrespecting incarceration. But now it's kind of just like a joke. It's a running joke. And I think at this point, everybody knows Wes opens himself up to getting roasted. And I mean, when someone's cramming shit up their ass that they don't even need to, they're just basing it off solely their interpretation and basically they want to. And, you know, some of these stories, if you broke them down, which is what Dubs does, right? Line for line, man, you can see lie for lie. You know, talking about people running out of the visiting hall. You know how many times that guy would have got shot running out of the visiting hall? You know how many times they would have shut the yard down and tackled his ass? Or when he says, I'm not going to say a name. And then he was like, and then the homeboy's mom, Margaret, flew from Arizona. What the fuck, right? Thought you weren't going to say no names, right? That's why people feel a certain way about Wes. The people that love him and speak up for him are people that have never been to prison and people that believe his bullshit. The people that don't are the ones that were really on those yards. They're like, there's no fucking way. Nobody likes a grown man yelling and spitting at him and talking shit. Nobody likes paying hard-earned money for a program. And when they call, you know, he's supposed to give you a life. He's going to be your life coach. You need Wes Watson to be your life coach. What's he going to tell you? You know what I'm saying? Hey, they sell these tight-ass pants at the spray section in Macy's. He's going to call you and 3 hours after he was supposed to call you, yell at you for 5 minutes and hang up on you. Because that's what he does. He has priors of doing that. And I think Wes does that because people allow him to do that. And so Dubs calls him out on his bullshit. But truth be told, we've had a gang of conversations behind the scenes concerning Wes Watson. And saying, man, do you think that this guy really believes his own bullshit? And what me and Dubs have come up with is he does. He does. Or he doesn't care because it's turned his life upside down. He's now a multimillionaire. That's it. Stumbled into the prison genre and was able to basically make a clown show out of it. You know, and it sucks for the people that have really been there that are trying to game people up to not go there. You know, and I know Wes will spew his positivity and scream, oh, you shouldn't go there because of this. They'll fucking stab the hell out of you and they'll do this. And most of the time, it's not even like that. Most of the time, I tell you people, the reason you don't want to go to prison is first and foremost, you have a family and you have priorities. And as a man, you have to take care of your business. But second of all, it's a lot of boredom. It's a lot of downtime. It's a lot of waste of time. That's the truth of the matter. And I think people like myself, Dubs, and several other prison genre people, you know, like A Convict's Perspective and Renegade Media and all these different people that got different angles on things, they'll all tell you the same thing. It's a lot of boredom, a lot of fucking complacency, a lot of bullshit. Okay? Whether you choose to involve yourself in the gang aspect of things, now that's taking it to a whole different level. And that's something we're not going to speak on in this, you know, in this spiel. But I'll tell you right now, even ask some of them. There's nobody that wouldn't want to be on the streets trying to fucking get the bag. Now, Wes was able to achieve that. But I don't truly believe that fucking Dubs goes in on him because he hates on him or he's scared of him or nothing like that. I think he does it because that's a way for him to channel his anger that he's upset about this motherfucker lying so much about places that he's actually been. I mean, he's the one that could call the bullshit out on him. Now, I seen the other day some guy named Santos G. Shout out to Santos G. I don't know the vault. He's a South Sider, allegedly. He has a little channel. Oh, respects, Holmes. You know, doing his thing. I like his stories. I trip out on him. If you haven't, go trip out on his stories. He said he did time with Wes Watson. Whether it be a 1, 2, or 3 yard, whatever yard they were on, Oklahoma, you know, they did their time together. And he has nothing but good things to say. His interaction with that man was good. You know, again, everyone's interaction is going to be different. You know, no one's saying that that guy Wes is not a good dude. He's not a solid dude. Obviously, you know, somewhere along the line, he's going to run into people and you're going to have good interaction with them. But what people are saying is, it's not about what he did. It's about what he says. Okay? It's about the way he puts too much tapatio on it. Too much honey mustard, brother. Too much coffee in the jar, right? That's what it's about. I don't say that guy Santos G is not wrong in his willings and dealings and defense of Wes. Someone has to do it. There was eventually going to be someone that came out. But I've seen a lot of guys, my own family included, that have been incarcerated with Wes that will tell you that it was bullshit. That he wasn't what he claims to be. That he was just another Wood doing his time. You know, not a shot caller, not a guy that fucking was having people stabbed, not a person. Because if that was the case, if he was that, best believe his ass would have been doing an indeterminate in the shoe back then. Best believe if he was the man on the yard, you can't hide that. Everybody knows who the man is. Doesn't matter what car you're from, whether it's the Woods, whites, Nazis, lowriders, fucking north, south, blacks. It doesn't matter. Others. I want to fucking include everyone. Natives, because paisas, because everybody, you know, be getting at me. Hey, what about us? There you go, right? Everyone knows who everyone is. You can't fly under the radar that long. This is prison. CDCR, man, they know what's up. Their IGI is on point. Believe me, they know everything, every transaction that's going on in there. You just don't know it yet. You think they just gave motherfuckers tablets to give them tablets? If you guys think those ain't chipped, then you really chipped your tooth. Because I'm telling you right now. But anyways, so I don't know where I was going with that, but I know where I'm going with this. At the end of the day, I believe that Dubs, like I said, is coming from a place of good nature, just having fun with it. But it's a situation where once you were a lifer, and no one's ever, there's a large percentage of the population has not been in that position to even speak on it. But I can see how he feels a certain type of way. But he does it from a place of joking, from a place of having fun. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not like he fucking wants to kill this guy or hates this guy. We've had conversations. We laugh. But I believe he's the type of individual, Wes Watson, where albeit myself, and I'm sure Dubs wouldn't want to be around him just because there's not too much in common. But at the same time, I'm not subject to saying, hey, I would never have a conversation with that guy. You know, now, some of the things he did concerning P. Diddy alarmed me. But that is just what it is. Again, P. Diddy hasn't been convicted or none. We clown again. We're just having fun with it. But if you know, you know. Anyways, with that being said, I wanted to put that out there because I see people making spills about it. And I talk to Dubs, you know, daily. We have conversations. And I wanted to say, you know, that's where I think he's coming from. It's no hate. It's no envy. It's no fucking wanting to get someone. It's more so once you're a lifer, you think different. You know, I've been around a lot of lifers. I got 3 lifers that I talk to quite frequently. Dubs, another homeboy from Fresno, and another homeboy from Sanjo. Go trip out on that, huh? And all 3 of these guys pretty much got the same type of mentality. They're all trying to change their lives for the better. And they all say the same thing about Wes Watson. What a joke. With that being said, I'll that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. Now, trip out on this, right? Woo! Do I got some bonus? I got a bonus coming for you. Super Norteño this afternoon. Make sure you guys tap in. It's going to be a good one. Hey, and Compton, primo, you never know. I might have to give him a phone call, and he just might make an appearance. With that being said, I'm not talking about the real one. He's in prison. I'm talking about on the show. You know what it is. This is the gun. Bang, bang.